I've been an active citizen of social media since God knows when. Awarded as a social media freak on high school yearbook, growing my personal branding on TikTok, and now building a company of a social media agency for 5 years. You wouldn't believe how I raised myself on social media and how social media has raised me to be the person I am today. Initially, I thought social media like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter or X, YouTube, and others are just platforms where we can just post, like, comment, that's it, with no meaning. Until I realized, unconsciously, social media is our life CV. Short for curriculum vitae, you know, CV is a document needed to apply for a job that we want. Everybody is either have ever experienced in crafting their CV in the past, or currently preparing their CV, or going to need to update their CV someday for the next chapter in their lives. In CV, we share our birth date, our work experience with all the things that we did, the school we went to, our hobbies, our skills in communication, management, language, etc. Did you realize the things that I just mentioned are also visible on our social media? Correction, can also be visible on our social media if we share that. Besides, we can also share all the fun parts about us, the vulnerable side of us, and all things casual about us. Social media is the informal version of CV of our lives. And most of the time, it tells more of who we are than just a paper of CV ever will. This got me thinking, if a CV can get us to a job that we want, now that I say social media is technically a CV, so can it also get us to something that we want in terms of career? I remember the time when I had my first job, especially how I got it. Back when I was still studying in uni, probably around the 4th semester, a friend of mine recommended me to someone who owns a well-established local brand that needs a social media manager. He saw the potential in me of how I could navigate my own social media presence to be visually good with engaging contents through the things that I share. Long story short, I went through the interview and I got in. I got accepted. I couldn't believe it. A kid still studying in uni, haven't even finished his degree, could handle such big project, which feels so big for me. It was unbelievable. And I couldn't be more thankful for the early work experience that I had. Upon building my own company of a social media agency called Dozen Studio, I found it very fulfilling whenever I share my journey to my own social media. The little wins, the failures, the big achievements, as well as the times when I need some help. People started to recognize me and acknowledge my work. Of course, I didn't share the little details of the private stories, but when I'm brave enough to share the ups and downs of my journey, they begin to engage with me, find connection with me, and involve themselves in the story they've been following along. Slowly, inquiries are coming in. They wanted me and my team to handle their projects. On top of that, not a few came up to me and say, "Hey Ray, can I share your work portfolio to my friend? I guess you could be the right fit to what they need." This is the exact formula of how I got my first job. I share, I attract, then I get. In hindsight, my CV has been automatically developed this whole time. This is when reputation comes in my way. It was my moment of realization that the reason I could get those opportunities, both how I could got my first job, as well as the opportunities for clients coming in Dozen Studio, was because I was utilizing my social media well enough. I did it by sharing who I am, my story, my journey, including what I'm good at and what I'm capable to do. So yes, social media can get us to something that we want through sharing. Once we start sharing, we open the doors of possible opportunities to enter. And the more we share, the more we attract opportunities. We share, we attract, then we get. Now, you're probably thinking, what's in it for me? Do I really have to share to social media? For my formula, it's pretty easy to understand that the more we share, the more we attract opportunities. On the flip side, the less we share, the less opportunities might be for us. Look, to be fair, I know opportunities don't only come this way. There are dozens of ways and variables to define our luck and chances to get life opportunities. But I'm telling you, I got it this way. Who knows? This could also be your way. The concept is like communication, you know? If you don't tell that girl that you like her, how can she know that you like her? If you don't tell your boyfriend the mistake that he just made without him realizing, how can he know his mistake and change to make it right? If you don't tell people who you are, how can they know who you are? How can they remember you and recommend you to other people, which leads to the possible opportunities might be for you? For instance, if you're given the talent to sing, you can do song covers and share it to, let's say, YouTube or TikTok. I mean, look at Justin Bieber or Shawn Mendes. Anyways, anybody's listening to their songs? Or ever been a believer a decade ago? It was the magic of social media that they utilize because they share to the platform, which attracts opportunities to come to them. Hence, now becoming one of the biggest global stars in the music industry. They share, they attract, then they get. Another thing, I believe every human in this world, you and me, we have stories to tell, talents to embrace, and ideas that are worth spreading. But only some of us dare to share. And the rest, they just keep it to themselves, piled up in their photo gallery or notes waiting to be deleted someday. They say the reason that they are too afraid to share because they're shy to share something. But actually, it's not because they're a shy person. It's because they're afraid of other people's opinions. Some of us have ever experienced this before or currently feeling like this, or know someone, at least, who's feeling this way. For those of you who relates, I see you, I feel you, I've been there. I mean, it's normal. As an overthinker, citizen of the world, sometimes we overthink what others think of us. But never let your fear be bigger than your desire to achieve what you want to get. People are actually busy thinking about themselves and their lives, meaning there's just so little time for them to think about you and your life. So forget about them. Focus on yourself. Because most of the time, they don't matter. You matter. Your decision matter more, and your action matters the most. Now, when it comes to sharing, sincerity and authenticity have to come out of you. Once we start sharing, we don't expect something in return. That's not how it works. We are here not to get the rewards. The opportunities we've been talking about feels like a bonus or blessings to us. So keep your heart and your minds to the enjoyable process of creating it and sharing it to the world. And that way, you'll end up find it much more meaningful. Some people get it in 10 years after actively utilizing social media. Some people get it only in just 2 months, that quick. Others never had the chance to have one. And that's okay, because this is not the only way. In order for us to understand this more clear as well as to conclude this, allow me to put an analogy here. Imagine the scene. Imagine that this world is a company, and we are trying to get a job from this world. The CV we give to the company is our social media presence. The job we're applying is called opportunity. Meanwhile, the employers, the one who decide to accept us or not, are everybody around us, those in your social media following and beyond that. And the recruitment process of interview happens throughout our lives. Therefore, continually updating our CV will increase the chance we get the job. Meaning, the more we share who we are to social media, the more we attract opportunities and getting them. We share, we attract, then we get. This is a lifelong journey, and I'm in the middle of it. I got my opportunities this way, and I hope you'll get yours. Thank you.